Welkom terug. Nou, ons gesels vanoggend met die internasionale bekende grootgolf-branderplankryer en see-avonturier, skrywer en houer van 'n menigmale Guinness Wêreld-rekords, Chris Bertish. En ons praat onder andere oor sy jongste boek ook. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Goeiemôre van Durban af.
Hey, bietjie Afrikaans ook daar, hou daarvan. Chris, when someone
I've been in
reads...
America too long. I've forgotten my Afrikaans, you see.
Chris, when someone reads your bio, it immediately becomes very evident that you are very adventurous. That's your lifestyle too. I want to know, is that something that's been with you since childhood?
Great question. I've been obviously involved in the ocean from a really early age. My father was very immersive in the ocean and did a lot of different kinds of sports. So I guess being comfortable in the ocean was the sort of start of that, and then just sort of progressively pushing myself and trying new things. And I think it's important for us all to go out and connect with nature and have adventures. And you never know what's possible until you try, and you never know what you're capable of until you push yourself out of your comfort zone on a consistent basis. So I guess that's what we do, and that's how the adventure keeps on growing.
I have to tell you, I was very excited when I heard I get to speak to someone that's done big wave surfing, because I've always wanted to know about big wave surfing, because even when you watch videos and you see these massive waves, it scares me. I'm like, no ways I'm doing that. How did you get into that? And what is the biggest wave that you've surfed?
Yeah, I get asked that quite a lot. I mean, like everything, I started surfing really small waves, just like everyone else does at Muizenberg in Cape Town. And I think like everything in life, if you're continuously shifting your comfort zone and keep on pushing yourself a little bit further, that sort of translates to, 10, 15 years later, surfing really, really large waves. And I think on land we get told we can't go here, we can't do this. There's so many rules. Whereas in the ocean, you have no one telling you what to do, what you can't do, and how far you can push it. So it's a great canvas to explore your own potential. And I think a lot of people see it being really risky and see it being really dangerous. But if you put in the right planning and preparation and you really train hard, like with anything, then you become better prepared. You can minimize the risk so you can proceed with confidence and really get some incredible results and also have some incredible experiences. I mean, obviously the adrenaline rush from surfing really giant waves is really amazing. And it's just how you control and manage the fear, really, to your advantage.
You get so small, it's like you're lost in that wave. You just don't see this man. There's the tiny little black spot, and that's Chris between all the water. Chris, but I saw on your website and video there where you said the ocean shaped you. It's made you the human you are today, the human being and the man you are. So amazing to read that. And what influence did it have on your life up to now?
I think, the ocean, as I've said, and I think as you perfectly read in the website, it did really and has shaped my whole life, I think. And it's given me incredible stories. It's given me incredible lessons. And, without the ocean and everything that I've experienced, and that's half the reason, obviously, why I give back and I try and look after it and raise lots of money for ocean conservation, ocean health, and ocean awareness. It's taught me the greatest lessons also in life. And I think, even though I've been to school and I've been to university and what have you, I think the greatest lessons that I've learned in life are really that I was taught from the ocean all the way through. And I think there's so many similes that you can take from nature that you can really apply to life to keep it simple and to give back, look after others, look after your community, and be a better person each and every day in some small way.
Absolutely. Well, you wrote a book and you're a Guinness World Record holder and you're telling the horrific story of the 2017 7,500 kilometers solo SUP Atlantic crossing from Morocco, Africa to Antigua in the Caribbean. And how do you survive 93 days on the ocean, man alone?
Yeah, I do get asked that quite a bit. So how do I survive through those sort of storms and the challenges that we face like we do in life? Well, one day at a time. Don't focus on that overwhelming obstacle, the overwhelming goal. Just focus on what's in front of you and just take it one stroke at a time, one day at a time, for as long as it takes. And you got to just obviously be very, very purpose driven. It can't be just about yourself. And I was obviously raising money for ocean health, ocean conservation, paying for operations for Operation Smile, the Lunchbox Fund. So, when you're powered by a purpose greater than yourself, then it helps you overcome, a lot of great adversity and challenge. And I've really learned that through my adventures. And I guess that's what gives me these incredible stories that I share as an inspirational speaker all over the world. And I'm very fortunate that as long as you can survive, you've got some incredible stories to tell. So I just need to stay alive.
But Jen, that is what I love about his story. And that is, he said, it's not what I did, it's why I did it. That's the important factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, I wanted to know, because obviously you mentioned you faced challenges when you were in 3 months alone on the ocean. Is it more psychological? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Or is it a bit of a combination of all of them?
Yeah, great question. I think a lot of people, they see these kind of adventures and they just see this enormous goal and this enormous achievement, but there's so much more that goes into it. There's a great saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far and make enormous impact and change the lives of millions, build a great team behind you. And I think a lot of people don't see the amount of people and the team that I have that I've built to do these kind of projects. And without them, I wouldn't be able to achieve what I do and do what I do and have the impact that I have across multiple different layers of these projects, whether it be doing the ocean-themed classroom sessions for kids all over the world, whether it be planting thousands of trees as a give back and to reduce the carbon footprint of the whole project. So all the different levels and layers take time, energy, effort, foresight, and insight to be able to create and do things that have never been done before. And it's not just the journey and the feat that I'm doing. There's so many other give back layers or layers that really tap into innovation, collaboration, and being an example of positive change.
Wow.
And what we can all do be better for not only ourselves, but for community, people, oceans, and the planet.
Well, I thought I'd ask you, will you ever do it again, and why? But I think that answer is simple. You're an adventurer. Of course you will do it again.
So
am I right?
I won't do I'll never do the same thing again, because I don't believe in doing the same thing twice. But I think what a lot of people find interesting about my journey is that most athletes they become very good at one sport, and that's what they do pretty much for their whole life. Whereas I've always believed that, like, if you set your mind on something and you stay focused, determined, and you take daily steps and actions to it consistently over time, it's like the 10,000-hour rule. Once you apply that, you just become very focused and very good at anything. So it's sort of a principle that you can be good at anything in life if you put your head down and you really focus at it and you persevere and you never give up. And I think that's a really good sort of
testimony as well.
It's a good, it's a testament to anything in life. And I think it's really also to inspire kids that they can go out and do and be anything. And, just because someone says you can't do it or it's impossible, maybe that might be for them, but for each individual has the only limitations they have are the limitations they put in their own mind. And I've got told all my life that I can't do different things, but I've gone out and done it, and I've led a really unique and hopefully inspiring and impactful life. And I hope that what I do inspires other people to go out and push their own borders and boundaries and discover their own potential and go out and have an incredible adventure in life, because, I don't think we all get out in nature enough, and we don't go out and explore and push our own comfort zones. So we never really know what's possible until we go there.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I think also, and you said it so nicely, is unless you get out of your comfort zone, you don't grow as a person. And you pushing yourself constantly to go out of your comfort zone means you're constantly growing and exploring new things. And I think the other thing you mentioned that was really nice, Chris, is you mentioned your team and how important the team is. And very often with adventures like this, we see the man behind the book, and we see person doing the motivational speaking, but there's a whole team behind you that actually gets you to a certain point and support you to enable you to do these things.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I think even with the books, my first book, I really didn't expect to do so well. It was called Stoked, and it's been reprinted over 5 times, and now it's just been translated into Italian. And I wouldn't have done the second book if it wasn't for the success of Stoked, because the amount of messages that I got sent from people all over the world that have been impacted and inspired by the books, and how it's helped them get through difficult times. And obviously the new one, All In, is about this journey, but there's so many other incredible, life lessons and experiences that are there to really make people realize that we can do so much more, be so much more, if we just have the courage to step out of our and beyond our comfort zone, because that's really where the magic happens and where our greatest potential lies. It's just beyond that comfort zone. So don't be scared to go and explore that, and have the courage to be able to dream big, and then have the courage to follow it.
Wow. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thanks very much for the team from the Groot-on-Bait. Always a pleasure and a privilege. Have a great weekend ahead.
Dit is natuurlijk Chris Bertish en ons het gepraat oor sy jongste boek All In